As a call taker, it's my responsibility that if you're telling me something that I think may give away your identity, we tell you that. We explain it, and we make sure that we're not giving away your identity and how we write the report as well.
Crime Stoppers has always promised to keep a tipster's identity anonymous, and for the very first time, they're allowing television cameras behind the scenes at their call center to show viewers exactly how they do that. But we had to follow several restrictions, and one of them may surprise you, that the call takers want to remain just as anonymous as the tipsters do. Only their backs were shown as they faced calls from across Canada, parts of the United States, and overseas in a small call center that we can only say is in Northern Ontario. For safety reasons, most employees did not want to be identified and say they understand when the people who call in ask for that same courtesy.
When people call in, some of the first questions they have is, is this anonymous? Prove to me that it's anonymous. And it's really hard over a conversation because they don't know what's going on here when those calls are coming in.
So, in order to see how a call works, we set up a mock tip. We had to simulate the call in order to protect the real tips that come in.
Toronto Crime Stoppers, how may I help you?
The caller ID is disabled right off the bat.
Okay, and did this happen in Toronto? And were you able to get a description of the person that had the gun? Okay. And was there any vehicles associated with those two inside? Okay. Any idea if there's any surveillance in the club?
The caller is then given a special number that they can use to check on the status of their tip.
Okay, so what I'm going to do right now, do you have a pen and a piece of paper, and I will get you to write down your report number?
During the conversation, the call taker will even stop a tipster if they're saying anything that may identify themselves.
It's just a rapport that you have to build with them. They have to trust you. You have to be able to talk to them and explain to them, it's not that I understand because I'm not in your situation, but I do know that you want to make it better.
I've been involved with Crime Stoppers for 24 years and started out with one Crime Stopper unit that I was answering the phones for. And at that time, there was no internet, or we wrote every report that came in manually and faxed it to the unit.
Donna Chambers started working with Crime Stoppers more than 20 years ago. Now is the operations manager of the call center that takes an average of 5,000 calls a month. She has a message for anyone in fear of picking up that phone.
We're not related to the police. We're all civilians. This is a not-for-profit call center that we call the police on the public's behalf.
If a tipster remains anonymous the entire time, then how do they collect any potential reward money? That's another question that is often asked. Well, that report number that they give you during the phone call can be brought to a bank in order to collect that money with no questions asked. Tammie Sutherland, City News.